Yo, what's good? My name's Shadom, and just a quick reminder, I am a new RBW5 content creator and maybe a few videos of like high school hoops and other roball games, but my channel will be based on like signature moves and animations, build creating, in-game tactics, and like other aspects of roball outside of gameplay. And besides that, in today's video, I'm just gonna try to show y'all the meta guard build in the recent RBW5 update after Jokes kind of messed up the build creation. But besides that, let's get to it. So now, once you're in the build creator, you're just gonna do your appearance and everything. I'm just gonna put, let's just put like this haircut, I don't know, something. And then after you go to your play style, you should have a guard, and we should go to a drift shooter because of these stats right here. And once we up our height and weight, we should have a good archetype. So I'm gonna put a 6'6", 180, because when you do this, you allow a 96 mid-range with an 83 point, and then an 85 plus speed, which is good for guards, but you can also max out your strength at 45, along with good defense and some handles, passing, So this is overall very good for us. So now that we're done with this, you're gonna finish, and you're gonna wanna go to the actual game, click on your My Player, and then we're gonna start upgrading. So right after I just load in here, gonna go to My Player, and we're gonna scroll. And actually, yeah, this build right here is about what I'm about to make. I've already used it. It's very good at a lot of stuff. So the only flaws is defense, but it's fine because we already have a 65 perimeter. So now that we have only 250 points because Jokes wanted to nerf our stats, we have to deal with it. So first, the most important part of a guard is its shooting. At least the way it scores is the most important. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna max both of these stats right here, mid-range to 96 and our 3-point to the 80. And then now we have about 186 points left, and now we're gonna do our vitals. We're going to make speed and speed with ball about like 80, 85, just depending on like how you really play. And yeah, once we do that right here, acceleration, all you need is a 75, so that's why I'm putting it like that. Stamina 80, strength I think is gonna be a 40 if I'm not mistaken. Now our layup, we're gonna also max that too. Driving dunk is gonna become a 65. And now we're already down to a very short amount of points. We're gonna put, I believe I put the rest in handles. And yeah, we're gonna minus a few points here just because of overall, like, just the way I play. And you should end up with at least 65 handle. All of these stats here, inside, perimeter, defense, block, and steal, yes, they are very bad, but as a guard, as long as if you have good perimeter defense, you're going to be able to contest shots properly. And yes, I know I said guard, and guards are supposed to have good passing. This is kind of more not a point guard. This is more of like a shooting guard, because in RBW5, you can make half-court passes as long as if you just have a 50 plus passing. So unless you really want to make those full court passes or like tricky, flashy passes, then I would up it. But for overall, if you're more caring about scoring yourself, I would suggest having your handle as the highest playmaking stat. And over here, it really just depends on what points you minus. But I think from what I ended up, I had 75 on the vitals, and then I put the rest into handles, and I think 77 stamina. Or you could put it into acceleration, really doesn't matter. Honestly, I think I put it into speed, and then I put the next one into acceleration. But overall, this should be we should be an all-around slasher by this point. And if you look here, our key stats are the 96, the 86. But this build, it's balanced. It's a 3-level scorer. It doesn't have the best defensive kind of approach or passing, but as long as if you use the build properly, you should be fine. And now after this, we're going to use our traits. Now, these badges right here are probably the most important part of the build, because if you don't use right badges for any build, it's just going to be a messed up kind of thing. So since our handle is only 65, if we want to dribble like a guard, I would suggest putting this up to silver or gold. For now, I'm going to put it at gold. We're also going to put our dauntless to gold, so we can also finish on floaters well. And I believe I put slithery gold too. We also put silver on enforcer. Unless, if you don't use hop steps, drop steps, strong pushes, all that stuff, I would suggest don't use that badge, because it really only works if you're that aggressive when you're driving. But I put it for my build just so we could have the overall general kind of stands in finishing. And then for our shooting, we're gonna want focus shot all the way at gold. And our first diamond badge is gonna be tough shots. And this is really important because if you play like an ISO kind of player, you're going to always want to dribble a lot. And when you dribble a lot, you want to get a shot off. So this tough shot is very good for mid ranges, and it also helps you shoot on deep threes. Just gonna want a silver deep range so you can consistently shoot from 3. Because if you have this at 0, if you just have no deep range badge, it's gonna kind of mess up your whole entire 3-point shooting, because the deep range badge extends all the way to the 3-point line. Then we're gonna have late contender on silver, intimidator on silver, and clamps on silver. And the last badge can be used for anything. You can put it into energizer, dimer, or floor general. You could also put it into maybe some like steady defender, tireless defender, but I chose to put into second wind because I believe second wind, very important badge, especially if you have low stamina on your build like ours. Since we're a guard, we should really have 90 plus stamina, but since we only have 75, we kind of have to use it. So the overall build should kind of look like this: 6'6", 180 all around slasher. But you can always take, for example, this badge, which I don't use a lot personally, and I put it into, for example, tireless dribbler. I put it into tight handles, I believe. I don't know if I put it into floor general, but floor general is only good for your overall like team if you're playing 5s. And then my last one was tireless defender. You're still gonna be an all-around slasher. You're just gonna be a 95 overall instead. But this overall build I like to use because generally it does a lot, and it plays like a Devin Booker kind of Michael Jordan a little bit. I don't know if Michael Jordan is too accurate because he should have a higher handle and passing and maybe some defense. But it's a mid-range slasher, I would say. You can also shoot 3-pointers consistently. Even, I've played with this build before, you can shoot early releases. So it's really good in general. But besides that, I really like this build. I've used it a lot. It's very fun, especially after the update, because the update was pretty bad. Especially for Jugs. Jugs, please change your build creator. But the build is good. As long as if you time your shots correctly, you should be able to make, especially from deep, you'll be able to make most of your shots. But anyway, end of the video. If you guys want to see some gameplay with it, I'll record once in a while. But overall, this is the final build you should have. I might post another video about SIGs and signature moves later. But that's the end of the video. So the overall build, it should look like this. And your badges or traits, whatever you call them, it should end up like this. Anyways, end of the video. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And I guess peace out.